Have you ever felt your legs becoming heavier every morning, even on days when you barely exercised? Have you ever stood for a while and noticed your calves tightening, or climbed just a few steps only to feel your knees suddenly lose stability? After the age of 50, these subtle signs are often ignored, yet they reflect your muscle strength, circulation, and even your body's ability to maintain balance. Have you ever wondered why your legs weaken even though you maintain a healthy diet? If this sounds familiar, type 1. If not, type 0. Once you reach your 50s, your body's ability to stabilize blood sugar drops significantly. Starchy vegetables, especially the familiar dishes often eaten at dinner, can cause your blood sugar to rise and then crash quickly. This fluctuation drains energy from your leg muscles, making your calves fatigue easily, your feet feel heavier, and your balance noticeably less steady. You may still walk every day, but just standing a little longer can make your legs tremble slightly or tighten in ways that feel unusual. Have you ever felt your legs growing weak by the end of the day despite eating well? If so, type 1, so I can see how many people share this issue. Many older adults report that simply switching their dinner from starchy vegetables to leafy greens or high-fiber vegetables reduces that heavy leg feeling within about 1 week. A simple tip is to prioritize low-starch vegetables in the afternoon and evening, so your leg muscles maintain more stable strength. After understanding how starch affects leg strength, there's another vegetable group you need to pay attention to, one that quietly affects your joints and nerves, especially after the age of 50. This is the nightshade family, a group of very common vegetables. They contain solanine, a natural plant compound that can mildly irritate the joints, slow nerve response, and make the muscles around the knees and ankles feel stiff in the morning. Many people assume they are developing more serious joint degeneration, when in reality, their bodies have simply become more sensitive to this vegetable group. Have you ever woken up with stiff ankles or felt your legs heavy and less flexible during those first few steps? One older adult tried reducing nightshade vegetables for 2 weeks and noticed less tension in the knees and less calf fatigue when going up and down stairs. A helpful tip is to observe how your body reacts within the first 24 hours after each meal to identify which vegetables make your joints more sensitive. Once the body enters the age of 50 and beyond, its ability to absorb protein and minerals for muscle repair begins to decline noticeably. Certain vegetables that are high in lectins, though they look fresh and healthy, can irritate the intestinal lining and weaken nutrient absorption. When this happens, your leg muscles no longer receive the materials they need to recover. As a result, standing for long periods becomes tiring. The calves tighten quickly, and nighttime cramps begin to show up more frequently. Have you ever eaten a full and balanced diet, yet still felt your legs lacking strength, feeling winded after climbing just a few steps? If so, type 1, so I can see how many people are dealing with the same issue. Many older adults increased their vegetable intake but remained weak. Until they reduced high-lectin vegetables after that, the heavy leg feeling eased significantly. A simple tip is to choose vegetables that digest easily, contain less lectin, and pair them with high-quality protein sources to nourish your muscles more effectively each day. After discussing lectins, there is another silent mistake many people over 50 make: eating plenty of vegetables but not enough healthy fats. Essential vitamins for muscle and joint health, A, D, E, and K, are all fat-soluble. When your meals are too dry, the body cannot absorb these vitamins fully. As a result, the knees become more prone to pain, the calves recover more slowly after activity, and that heavy leg sensation appears regularly in the afternoon. Have you ever felt that even though you eat a lot of vegetables, your joints still feel dry, and movements like standing up or sitting down become more difficult than before? One member of our community shared that simply adding a small spoon of olive oil to their salad noticeably reduced knee discomfort and muscle tension after just a little more than a week. A helpful reminder is to include a bit of healthy fat in any meal containing vegetables, so the body can fully absorb the vitamins that support joint health and leg strength. Another common mistake is overcooking vegetables, especially among older adults who prefer soft, easy-to-chew dishes. However, when vegetables are cooked for too long, levels of vitamin C, folate, and many antioxidants essential for muscle and joint function drop by 40 to 70%. This leads to slower muscle recovery, more knee soreness during movement, and leg fatigue that appears after only a few minutes of standing. Have you ever cooked your vegetables until they were very soft, only to realize that even with a large serving, your body didn't feel any stronger? Many older adults report that simply switching to quick steaming or light sautéing for a few minutes made their calves feel less tight and made stair climbing much easier. A simple tip is to preserve the natural color of the vegetables. This usually indicates that most of their essential nutrients for muscles and joints remain intact. A very common misunderstanding among people after the age of 50 is believing that simply eating more vegetables is enough to stay strong. In reality, at this stage of life, the body's ability to absorb and synthesize protein drops sharply. When meals are mostly vegetables but lack quality protein, the muscles in your legs do not receive the materials they need to repair and regenerate. The consequence is predictable. Standing becomes tiring, stair climbing slows down, and the calves tighten easily toward the end of the day. Have you ever felt that you eat very clean and healthy, yet your legs still grow weaker over time? If so, type 1 so I can see how many people share this struggle. One member of our community shared that simply adding a small portion of protein to 2 main meals significantly reduced nighttime cramps and made walking feel lighter. A helpful tip: pair your vegetables with easily digestible protein sources to nourish your muscles more effectively every day. Another silent but very common mistake is eating purely out of habit without observing how your body reacts in the next 24 to 72 hours. In middle age and older adulthood, the digestive system, circulation, and nervous system all become more sensitive. Just one type of vegetable that doesn't suit your body may cause knee tightness, heavy calves, or leg fatigue when standing. Without paying attention, you may never realize which food is quietly weakening your leg muscles day after day. Have you ever experienced a day when your legs felt strong, but after just one meal the next day, your legs suddenly felt weaker for no clear reason? Many older adults have seen major improvements simply by tracking their meals and their body's sensations after each one. A simple method: monitor just 3 factors: your energy level, how light your legs feel, and how easily you climb stairs. Very quickly, you'll notice which vegetables best support your joint and muscle health. Beyond the mistakes related to choosing and preparing fresh vegetables, many older adults also face another often overlooked issue: using canned or frozen vegetables incorrectly. These versions usually contain much higher sodium levels than fresh vegetables. For the body after 50, excess sodium does more than raise blood pressure. It also causes muscle tissue and the tissues around the joints to retain water. Once the legs begin retaining water, heaviness, sluggishness, and calf fatigue show up far more often, especially toward the end of the day or after standing for long periods. Some types of frozen vegetables also lose a significant amount of B vitamins and vitamin C during processing, reducing the body's ability to repair muscle tissue and maintain strength during movement. Many older adults wonder why they eat a large amount of vegetables yet still feel unsteady with each step, or why climbing stairs becomes slower without realizing that accumulated sodium may be the hidden cause. Have you ever noticed mild swelling around your ankles or felt your shoes becoming tighter by the afternoon? This may be a sign that your body is retaining water. One member of our community shared that after switching from canned vegetables to fresh ones and rinsing frozen vegetables thoroughly before cooking, the feeling of heavy legs decreased noticeably within just 1 week. An important tip: always prioritize fresh vegetables. If you use frozen vegetables, choose varieties without added salt, and rinse them with warm water before cooking to reduce excess sodium. Now that we've covered the vegetable groups that can gradually weaken leg muscles, let's move to the vegetables that genuinely support stronger muscle function, especially in the calves and feet. One of the most beneficial choices for people over 50 is vegetables rich in beta-carotene, with carrots being the prime example. This nutrient not only supports vision, but also protects the tiny capillaries that nourish the nerves in the legs. When these capillaries become healthier, signals from the brain travel to the muscles more quickly and clearly, reducing the risk of cramps, mild numbness, or that heavy calf feeling in the evening. Have you ever been walking when your leg suddenly tightened or twitched, making you feel less confident taking the next step? If you've experienced this, type 1 so I can see how many people are dealing with the same issue. Many older adults simply added 1 serving of steamed or lightly cooked carrots each day, and within a week, they noticed warmer legs, less calf stiffness, and far greater comfort when standing for long periods. A small tip: pair carrots with a bit of healthy fat to improve absorption. Beyond improving nerve signaling, your leg muscles also rely on another essential factor to stay strong and stable: consistent circulation. When blood delivers oxygen and nutrients smoothly to the knees and calves, your steps feel lighter, lingering soreness decreases, and stiffness after sitting for too long becomes far less noticeable. One of the most powerful vegetables for supporting circulation is the group rich in sulforaphane, with broccoli being the most well-known example. And there is something many people over 50 don't realize. When circulation slows down, your leg muscles have to work much harder for even simple movements. This is why walking across a room can suddenly feel heavier on some days, even if your routine hasn't changed at all. Poor circulation also makes the nerves in your legs more sensitive, which increases the likelihood of sudden tightening, twitching, or those late-night calf cramps that wake you from sleep. Sulforaphane-rich vegetables like broccoli help counter this by supporting natural detox pathways, reducing low-grade inflammation, and encouraging healthier blood flow to the lower body. When your calf muscles receive steady oxygen, they recover faster after activity and maintain better stability throughout the day. Some older adults in our community shared that after adding broccoli to lunch or dinner for about 10 days, they felt noticeably lighter on their feet. Tasks like climbing stairs, stepping off a curb, or standing up from a chair felt smoother and required less effort. A few even mentioned that their knees no longer made that tight, dragging sensation after sitting for too long. If you've ever wondered why your legs feel different from one day to the next, improving circulation through the right vegetables may be one of the simplest, most effective shifts you can make. Sulforaphane has been recognized in numerous studies for its ability to reduce inflammation in the soft tissues around the joints, support cartilage recovery, and help stabilize blood sugar levels, a crucial factor in preventing early muscle fatigue. When inflammation decreases, the knees move more smoothly, and the surrounding muscles are no longer overstretched. This allows you to stand longer or climb stairs with far less strain. Many older adults shared that they used to feel knee fatigue after just a few minutes of walking, but after adding broccoli to 2 main meals each day, the heaviness around the knees decreased noticeably in just a little over 1 week. Even standing up and sitting down became easier, especially in the morning. A simple tip: steam or lightly sauté broccoli for a short time to preserve sulforaphane so your joints and leg muscles receive the maximum benefit. After reducing inflammation and stabilizing the joints, the next thing your leg muscles need is abundant blood flow. When blood delivers enough oxygen to the calves, every step becomes lighter and more secure. One of the most powerful vegetables for this purpose is the group rich in natural nitrates, with spinach being the best-known example. Nitrates gently dilate the blood vessels, improve circulation in the legs, and enhance the muscles' ability to contract and relax. When circulation improves, something else begins to change. The muscles in your lower legs regain their natural rhythm. Instead of feeling tight, delayed, or slow to respond, they start reacting more promptly to each movement you make. This is especially important for older adults, because delayed muscle response is one of the quiet reasons many people stumble or hesitate when stepping off a curb. With better oxygen delivery, the risk of sudden calf tightening or unexpected weakness significantly decreases. Spinach, with its rich nitrate content, supports this process in a surprisingly gentle yet powerful way. Once converted into nitric oxide inside the body, these natural compounds help widen the vessels that supply blood to the calves, ankles, and feet. Better blood flow means reduced pressure on the joints, smoother muscle coordination, and a noticeable improvement in balance during everyday activities like turning, reaching, or getting up from a chair. Some older adults mentioned that after incorporating spinach into their meals, their legs no longer felt heavy midway through the day. Instead, they experienced a steady sense of warmth and lightness that made walking feel more natural. Tasks that once required pauses, like climbing stairs or standing in line, felt easier and less tiring. For the best results, add a small portion of spinach to either your lunch or dinner. Light cooking helps maintain the nitrates that support circulation while making the leaves more digestible. When circulation improves, you experience fewer heavy calves in the late afternoon, less lingering soreness after walking, and fewer sudden cramps when changing positions. Have you ever been walking and suddenly felt your calf tighten so much that you had to stop? Many older adults simply added a handful of spinach to their lunch or dinner and noticed that within just a few days, their legs felt less fatigued and climbing stairs became easier. A small tip: spinach should be cooked quickly or lightly sautéed to preserve its natural nitrates that support circulation. Once you've chosen the right vegetables to nourish your muscles and improve circulation, the next step toward truly stronger legs is adding foods that support your bones, joints, and muscle recovery. After the age of 50, the body no longer absorbs nutrients as quickly or as completely as before, especially minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. These are essential for keeping the joints stable, allowing the muscles to contract and relax smoothly, and ensuring steady nerve signaling. Vitamin D helps the body absorb calcium more effectively and reduces knee fatigue during long periods of standing. Magnesium plays a key role in reducing nighttime cramps and preventing calf tightness after activity. Meanwhile, omega-3, from fatty fish or seeds, helps reduce deep inflammation within the joints and soft tissues. One of the most common reasons older adults feel heaviness or pain in their legs when getting out of bed in the morning. When you combine vegetables rich in beta-carotene, sulforaphane, or natural nitrates with these nutrients, the benefits for muscle nourishment, inflammation control, and circulation increase dramatically. Many older adults share that simply adding a small portion of fish or a spoonful of seeds to a vegetable-based meal made their legs feel warmer, lighter, and far less tense during long periods of standing. A helpful tip: choose simple, accessible foods such as salmon, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, or vitamin D fortified milk to support steady daily recovery for your legs. One member of our community once shared a story that many people over 50 can relate to. Every morning, when stepping out of bed, her legs felt heavy. Her ankles were slightly swollen, and climbing just a few steps caused her calves to tighten immediately. She assumed it was simply aging until she tried adjusting her meals for 14 days. She replaced her evening starches with steamed vegetables, added a handful of spinach to her lunch, and included fish 3 times a week. Within the first week of making these small adjustments, she noticed something she hadn't felt in years. Her legs no longer dragged behind her when she walked. The morning heaviness slowly lifted, and the tightness in her calves no longer appeared the moment she climbed the first few steps. By the second week, she felt a gentle warmth spreading through her lower legs, a sign that circulation was improving and inflammation was settling down. Even her balance felt more secure when turning or stepping off a curb, something she previously approached with caution. What surprised her most was how these changes came not from extreme diets or complicated routines, but from simple, consistent choices. A serving of vegetables enhanced with the right nutrients helped her muscles recover overnight, reduced pressure around the knees, and made her legs feel more responsive throughout the day. She mentioned that even standing in the kitchen to prepare meals, something that once left her legs fatigued, became easier and more comfortable. Her experience reflects what many adults over 50 discover. When your meals are aligned with what your muscles, nerves, and joints truly need, the body responds quickly. Lighter legs, easier movement, fewer cramps, and more confidence with each step are all achievable with steady, daily nourishment. These improvements may seem subtle at first, but together they create a powerful shift in how you move, stand, and live each day. What surprised her was how quickly her body responded. After just 1 week, the heaviness in her legs decreased noticeably. Her morning steps felt lighter, and nighttime cramps almost disappeared. By day 14, she said she could stand long enough to cook without needing to sit down and rest like before. Once you enter your 50s and beyond, leg strength depends not only on exercise, but on the small choices you make in your daily meals. Selecting the right vegetables, preparing them properly, and combining them with essential nutrients can help reduce cramps, lighten heavy legs, and restore mobility you may have thought was lost. You absolutely can recover as long as you stay consistent and listen to your body each day. If you find these suggestions helpful, feel free to share your thoughts and continue this journey with the Seniorspocari community. This is not a substitute for medical advice.